Race number 8 for horses with a rating of 80 through 60. We've got here over the mile, Eremo for Hugh Bowman, drawn barrier 13. City Blanche in the race as well. Straight Aaron, who was disappointing on debut. Voyage Bubble, a recent trial winner, and was impressive in that also. Never Too Soon, Capital Legend goes from 12 to 1600 metres. Secret Vision to Souza off a 4-timer on Wednesday night. Golden Empire comes into the field with Ruin Meyer, barrier 5. Hava Nagila gets the services of Zach Purden. Young Brilliant is on debut out of the Dinnership barn. You've got Happy Together, who's drawn a better gate this time round. Imperial McGee and also Happy Day. We can have a look at the speed map for this 8th race on the program. Over the mile, and Nick, as they jump from the start, Voyage Bubble, he led up in a recent trial. He looked very strong there. Is he likely to find the front again? I
think he can, Tom, for sure. Look, he's a strong, powerful going type of horse as well. And even though he's drawn 10, he'll have to come across a bit, but it looks a distinct possibility given what we saw in that recent trial. And he has led in the past under race conditions as well. Golden Empire shouldn't be too far away. I think he'll be close up to the speed. And Capital Legend's an interesting one because he's drawn well and he's going up in trip, and they might just try and make a bit more use of him. And Eremo, even though he's caught wide, they might just have their hand forced a bit pulled to press forward.
Yeah, I think that's just going to show he might have to work to get across. Young Brilliant should get a nice run on his debut as well. He'll get his opportunity. Happy Day with a lightweight. Hava Nagila with his wide draw, I think with Zach on, might have to go to the back.
Okay, so that is the verdict there on the speed map for race number 8. But more on Voyage Bubble this week. We can hear from his jockey Derek Lung off the back of what was a very impressive trial on the all-weather at Sha Tin.
Derek, Voyage Bubble, very nice horse that you're riding this weekend. Nice to get back on board him, and he's a horse with a good level of form.
Yes, he's been working good in the morning, and he's very honest in the race. I think a mile is suitable for him. Just the draw won't help him, so we will see.
He had a recent trial, Derek. I mean, he looked mightily impressive in that trial. How pleased were you with that performance?
Yeah, well, he tried impressive, but you can see the seasonal time it wasn't go quick in the beginning. So he feel very good up to stretch, so he tried good. And he will be the same in the race. He just handy, he don't mind to lead or second or third. So yeah, more flexible.
Getting across from 10, I mean, you say he can lead, he can sit handy. I guess barrier 10, they could have been a little bit kinder.
Yes, the draw won't help him, but we still try to go straight forward and see what happens.
So do you think in your mind that this horse will certainly get a mile no problem? Are you confident about that?
Yes, because when he up in front, he can switch off by himself, so a mile he can handle it.
Where he's at the moment, Derek, I mean, obviously a lot of the excitement surrounding the 4-year-olds. He's running off a mark of 76. I guess he needs to improve that mark a little bit, but if he can do after the weekend, he might just put himself in the picture for the 4-year-old series, perhaps.
Yes, I agree. The rating, he probably won a good race here, and hope he can get some rating, and I'm sure he will be there.
Derek Lung there touching on the chances of Voyage Bubble coming out of the stable of Ricky Yu. We can press on and have a look at a few more for race number 8, Capital Legend. I thought he's quite interesting here, and it going from 1200 metres to 1600 metres. I guess they've got to do this with this horse. On his debut, he went from 900 up to 1,533 metres as a 2-year-old, first up, second up. Yeah, so it won't be his first rodeo as far as going up in trip is concerned. I mean, as you say, he was clearly bought with these types of races in mind, i.e. the 4-year-old series. So, look, he was good on debut. They've got to go up in trip if they're to be any sort of contender pool, but I couldn't fault the way he won on debut. He was good.
Yeah, he did win nicely on debut. It was just a big jump up, 12 to 16 was just a little concern. He's drawn nicely, so you can see he was back there. I think they'll be a little bit more forward. And he has run 4th and 5th over 1,600 metres in Australia prior to arriving. We can look here at Secret Vision. He's a one-time winner, Paul, from his 9 starts. I thought he stayed on well enough last start behind Sweet Encounter, who, of course, has been beaten since, and he's also been back to the trials, this horse. Yeah, look, I haven't minded this horse since he's been here. He's a one-time winner from his 9 starts. He's put in a couple of good runs in the past. I think he's still got rating points in hand, and it shows from the second here. So, look, I've included him. Yeah, look, he's trialled as well since this, and I thought he hit the line really nicely. He's actually coming back in trip, which I think is a positive for him, and
Yeah, he looks to be one of the serious contenders here, Tom.
Of course, that was over the 1800 metres last time for him. We can go to the all-weather now and look here at Hava Nagila, who's improved in a couple of runs. Lasity Blanche back at the end of the field, hasn't done a great deal in his first run. Of course, Chang Cheng Prince Nick has come out and won again, but this has been an improving type, I think.
He is improving for sure, and you always love to see them improve first to second start. And I guess interestingly enough is the jockey booking. Zach Purton obviously taking the right here. Obviously in these two races he's actually ridden the winner, so he'd have a good line on the form, Paul, and he clearly likes him.
Yeah, look, and he did win twice on a good track overseas before he got here, so the turf's no problems for him, I wouldn't have thought. It's just the draw. He's drawn wide. I think he's going to have to go back.
Yeah, it certainly is, and he's off a high rating of 60, so he would have to win by a fair stretch to probably even give the 4-year-old series a shake getting into the field. So on we go to, well, we've got Decrypt here. He was going back a couple of seasons ago, Paul, a horse that was probably touted for the 4-year-old series. We've probably not ever seen the best of him. And what do we make of Straight Aaron? Because I thought Face Valley was disappointing.
Yeah, look, he looked like he was a bit disappointing. He had every chance, didn't he? So we'll see if he can improve. Fitness obviously will be an improvement for him. He's had that run now, and Decrypt only a one-time winner from his 29 starts. It's hard to happen.
Yeah, look, the Straight Aaron, he was a Group 3 winner of a Carbine Club, wasn't he? That was on testing ground and trained by Chris Waller. So look, the ground isn't going to come up anything like that, but there has been plenty of rain around leading up to this weekend. So the bit of cushion in the track might help him.
Yeah, maybe we'll see the better of him once he gets up over 1,800 metres or 2,000 metres in the future. Straight Aaron. One more replay to have a look at, and it is Happy Day, who's back here in the field. Happy Together comes from back in the field as well, Nick, and he's actually drawn a bit of a better gate this time round for Richard Gibson.
He has, yeah. Look, he's a nice horse, and I think the application of a tongue tie has really helped him, because he wore that last time and he did let down really nicely. The run of Happy Day, I thought, was really good, very encouraging to suggest he could go well. And what I like about him in here, Paul, is that he's got a very, very light weight compared to some.
He has. I've got both Happy Together and Happy Day in, because I think they both ran really well in this race, and it was a pretty quick sectional as well there from Happy Together when he finished off strongly for fourth. So I think they've both got good chances.
Yep, this final 400 there was 22.99. Now there's still a few pieces of the puzzle to be put together here, Nick, and a few to probably shake the tree, and they'll come out of this list of top-rated runners towards the 4-year-old series, but there's a few as we probably scroll down the page that are going to be looking to boost their rating this weekend.
They are indeed, and one such on that page that has done so is Encountered. He's gone up to 81 now. Obviously, look, a few question marks here regarding some of that being trip on rating as well, of course, and Wings of War down at the bottom could be an interesting horse when we see him, Paul, but again, it's always a bit of a conundrum, this one.
Yeah, I think APAL, Straight Aaron and Tukul will be the ones coming up for the weekend as well, and obviously Voyage Bubble in this race as well, Capital Legend. They're the ones we'll be sort of taking a close eye on, won't we?
What do we reckon, Paul? Cut off about 80, you'd say, maybe?
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? Maybe you could sneak in with a very high 70s, but at this stage, you'd think about 80.
Okay, you're all in the melting pot. Tips for race 8, Paul?
I really like Voyage Bubble. I think he can dictate in front here. The 1600 shouldn't be a problem, and he looks the only natural leader in the race, so I think he can lead and win. Happy Together in there for second. His was a really quick sectional with his last one, and he's improving. Happy Day with the lightweight, and Secret Vision was a good run from him for second last time. So end up with 4, 12, 14 and 7.
Yeah, also with the 4 here, Voyage Bubble. I just think he's a really nice horse, this guy, and Derek seemed pretty confident going up in trip that can suit him. So Voyage Bubble on top to hopefully enhance his rating points ahead of the 4-year-old series. Happy Day, I think, is a horse that can run really well. Secret Vision back to this trip will suit, and Happy Together, second time tongue tie, can hopefully work the same as it did first time. 4, 14, 7 and 12.